Did you know that smoking causes health problems not only for smokers but also for non smokers? The reason is that exposure to secondhand smoke, also known as passive smoking, is dangerous and there is no safe level of exposure. When a person smokes, they release hundreds of toxic chemicals that can cause cancer, respiratory problems, heart disease, and severe asthma attacks. Did you know that the same is true for idol worship and the food offered or shared in celebration of these idols? Just as there is no safe level of exposure to secondhand smoke, there is also no safe level for this type of worship or gathering in celebration of that particular God, given that the territory belongs to that supposed God and portals are open. Another example is the Travis Scott concert in 2021, where most people said there was an atmosphere, a demonic portal at the concert where unfortunately 10 people lost their life and hundreds were injured. This is why the Apostle Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians 10, verses 23 and 24, I am allowed to do anything, but not everything is good for you. I am allowed to do anything, but not everything is beneficial. Don't be concerned for your own good, but for the good of others. The primary concern for believers should be doing what honors God and what is most beneficial for others in their communion with Him. Therefore, we must be careful with the worship and food offered or shared in this type of celebration. The Apostle Paul even refuted this kind of freedom with Christians of his time who advocated eating in the temples of idols, claiming to know that everything is permissible and that food does not make us more acceptable to God, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 8. He points out that not everyone has this understanding, and although they are right that pagan gods do not actually exist, the demons associated with them are real, and in the eyes of most people, eating in a temple or a temple dedicated to a pagan god meant honoring that god and acknowledging his existence. This is why Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians 10, verses 21 and 22, you cannot drink from the cup of the Lord and from the cup of demons too. You cannot eat at the Lord's table and at the table of demons too. Do we dare to rouse the Lord's jealousy? Do you think we're stronger than He is? Just as participating in the Lord's Supper represents participating in Christ's sacrifice and salvation from sin, so too does participating in feasting places that honor idols represent participating with demons. Some believers in Corinth made the mistake of not being able to distinguish between good and evil, between what honors God and what honors Satan. However, it is important to understand God's holy zeal because, as Matthew 6, verse 24 says, no one can serve two masters. You must serve one or the other, but the decision is yours. God bless you.